Alrighty guys, welcome back. We are here again, Monkey Hero Adventures. This is it. This is the last video for Realm Reborn. We are taking it all the way to the end from here. It will be a long video. Strap in. There's about 30 or 40 minutes worth of cutscenes at the end of this, and right into the credits, right into the lead up and the teaser into Heavenward, and then I'm going to end it by going to the screen and we'll watch the trailer for Heavenward as like a tease, and then I'll end the video there. And the next time we do one of these will be in the first expansion. Alright, let's see what Minfilia's got for us. In memory of Moonbrita. I still miss her. As Moonbrita was a native of Charlian, I feel it only fitting that we gather before the Mark of the Scholar. Are you familiar with the stone? 'Tis a monument found at Ratherfrost, and is sacred to Thalic, guardian deity of the City of Learning. There we shall pray for our dear friend's soul, and bid her a peaceful return to the light of the Mother Crystal. No problem. Don't have to ask me twice. Yeah, so originally these post base quests, that there was like 100 and what was it, like 160 something. It was crazy. And they've pared it down twice, and now it's a very quick. I say very quick. I mean, you can see how many quests we've done. Some people still complain that it drags on a little bit, but one thing that it definitely did this time through is I felt that Moonbrita just didn't really feel like she was with us very long. I still feel like her character had a lasting impact still. I still feel like it's very sad that she is gone, and I still really love her character. She was one of my favorite characters, and I'm really sad that she had to sacrifice herself. And she was hot. Really hot. I love that hairstyle.
Forgive me, Moonbreeder. Had I been quicker or wiser, but I was not, and you paid the price. But you would not suffer us to wallow in our sorrow, would you? You would tell us to pick ourselves up and get on with it. And so we shall. We shall defend this realm and her people to the last.
Life for death, a fair exchange. Other bargains will be struck.
I mean, that is true. That is a fair exchange. I'd rather them both be alive, honestly. I mean, Nabrialis was a right cunt, but still. I'd rather have Moonbreeda back. Just me. How can you not love absolutely gorgeous punk rock hairdo, fucking genius woman who's also a just brute fucking axe wielding badass? Like, if that's not your dream, I don't. Are you even a man? I don't even know. Though we have said our farewells, the pall of sadness has diminished but little. Forgive me, as antecedent is my job to be the pillar of strength for all others to lean upon. Yet I also believe the grief we feel now is precious in its own way, and not to be lightly swept away. Do you not agree, Monkey? Yeah, and I'm going to take that and turn it into rage. It is as if a dagger has been thrust into my breast. Better be a big dagger. I'm sorry. But 'tis a pain we must learn to bear if we are to forge ahead with our duty. The battles we have fought have taken the lives of so many. Louisoix, Moonbreeda, our fellows at the Waking Sands. Their spirit and dedication to our cause, however, will not be lost as long as we rise to fight once more. I hardly need you remind you of this, of course. 'Tis for my own benefit that I repeat these words, a reaffirmation of my own chosen path. If I do not rebuild the foundation of my resolve, I am like to collapse in a fit of weeping. My apologies again, Monkey. There is no other to whom I could display such weakness. You are my pillar of strength, and I fear I shall have need of your steadfast presence in the days to come. A victory won, a comrade lost, to honor the fallen, the living forge ever on, towards the light of a new day. That is the official end, by the way, of 2.5. And this is 2.55, which is the end. Mask of Grief. Have you a moment, Monkey? I believe Ito wished a word with you. I should consider it a personal favor if you would lend a sympathetic ear to her troubles. She has not been herself since Moonbreeda's passing, and my heart aches to see her so downcast. I'm sure that I actually remember this quest. Hey, it's Monkey! Great! Oh, it's no use. I'm trying to stay positive, but it's just hard, you know? The thing is, I know Moon would tell me off if she saw me moping around like this, which is why I decided to cheer myself up by getting her a special flower. I placed an order for a moon daisy from Rowena a little while ago, and it's ready to be picked up. The trouble is, I find Rowena a bit difficult at the best of times. And well, this isn't one of them. I know it's silly, but I just can't face it at the moment. So, I was wondering, do you think maybe you could collect it for me? I have the coin to pay for the flower right here. Thank you so much. I'll be waiting for you, and the daisy at Ratherfrost. And that's probably why I don't remember. Very yawny this morning. I think it's the way I sit in the chair when I stream. Yo, Rowena, give me a flower. What can I do for you today, adventurer? Eldritch trinket or trade? To trade? Here you go. Eh, you've got to run errands now. Them scions really know how to make the most of your talents, don't they? Sending the savior of Eorzea to the bleeding market. Fine use of your time, that is. Seriously, though, you'd best learn how to say no, or they'll have you mucking out the chocobo stables next. Anyway, what was it you're looking here to pick up? The moon daisy, was it? Here then, take it. And tell that Eda lass I've got a wide selection of headwear in stock if she ever decides to replace that dowdy old mask of hers. God knows she needs to. Ugh, Rowena can be so annoying. She just won't take no for an answer. Every time I visit her, she insists I replace my visor with something more fashionable. And when I tell her I like it just fine the way it is, she says it again, and then again, and then again. It drives me crazy. Ugh, what I mean to say is, I really appreciate you doing this for me. So anyway, let's see it. Moonbreeda loved these things, you know. I hope that somewhere, somehow, she knows I'm still thinking of her.
I'll never forget you, Moon. None of us will.
The song riseth to a crescendo.
Is that what I think it is?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
We have received grave tidings from Ishgard. Pray return to the Rising Stones at once.
My apologies for the interruption. I was deeply saddened to learn of Mubrina's passing. Her loss will be sorely felt. Alas, recent developments in Ishgard leave us with little time to mourn. The envoy from Kurthus will soon arrive, and we must hasten to hear her report. The envoy is here. I thank you for receiving me at such a short notice. Time is of the essence, so I will forgo the usual pleasantries if I may. Certainly. You come with news of the Dravanians. Aye. The dragons have begun their attack in earnest. The first wave reached the central highlands a short while ago. The battle was joined soon thereafter. Sir Amric himself sailed forth with a contingent of the Temple Knights, and several companies of the noble house's finest. Though the beasts were ultimately forced into retreat, our victory, if such it can be called, came at the cost of many of our own. Too many. We will not withstand a second wave should the Dravanians renew their assault. You paint a grim picture, my lady. It is reinforcements you seek, then? We do. Though it pricks our pride, it is plain we cannot protect Ishgard with our ranks thus thinned by the Horde. Sir Amric would meet with you to discuss the possibility of enlisting your aid. Very well. I shall depart for Korthus at once. I must warn you, however, that the involvement of the Crystal Braves is by no means assured. Our commitment to quelling the unrest in Uldam must take precedence. It is with such contingencies in mind that I must make another request. The Signs of the Seventh Dawn are known for sharing close ties with all three of the grand companies of Eorzea. Would you consent to plead our case to their leaders? Though I will gladly appeal to the grand companies on your behalf, I do not promise a favorable reply. You need say no more. Considering our past dealings with the Eorzean Alliance, I can well imagine how our plea will be received. But the fate of Ishgard hangs in the balance. We must explore every avenue still open to us, no matter how unpromising. I see. Very well. I shall send envoys to each of the allied nations, and have them present your request directly to the heads of the grand companies. In the event your plea does receive a favorable answer, know that any support is certain to be conditional. Demands will be made of Ishgard. That is only to be expected. Rest assured that I speak with Sir Amric's authority in this matter, and that our actions are fully sanctioned by the Holy See. Which brings me to my final request, a personal appeal to the Warrior of Light. The Lord Commander much desires to speak with you, regardless of your fellow's involvement. You faced Midgard-Somer and survived. Anything you can share of your experience may yield us an advantage over our foe. Thank you. You wear the mantle of a hero well. 'Twould seem the road leads us both to Camp Dragonhead. Seek me out when you arrive, monkey.
The sons must answer for their father's misdeeds. Only then will the cycle be broken. Brothers and sisters of the heavens, we raise our voices and join you in the chorus. The sinner's feeble magics are undone. Come, claim your retribution.
I gotta have an evil laugh for. It seems I was swifter, monkey. You too, however, have arrived with time to spare, for our host is yet to make an appearance. The murmurings about camp tell of some manner of trouble at the Gates of Judgment. With the Lord Commander's absence, I suggest we visit the place and find out what is afoot. Oh, foot is the thing at the bottom of your legs, Alvino. It's what you walk on. Duh. I swear that boy. The Gates of Judgment are much more than mere doors. They're the outermost layer of Ishgard's magical wards. It's our first line of defense, can be so easily shattered. Wait, what? When I laid eyes upon Lady Iceheart, I felt the marrow freeze within my bones. Heretic scum! How dare they meddle with our divine protections? I shall rid our nation of this blasphemy, even if it means cutting them down one by one. We need not fret overmuch. There are several layers of arcane protection that shield the city from invasion. Mother will be fine. It would seem the heretic struck the first and most telling blow against Ishgard. Scions! We expected you at Camp Dragonhead. My apologies. We chanced to hear that there had been trouble at the gates, and thought it prudent to investigate the cause. Then you have learned of the heretic's treachery. Lady Iceheart led a force of her followers against our defenders, and came close enough to dispel the first of our wards. But let us speak more of this back at camp. Sir Emmerich awaits you. Lady Iceheart has grown bold indeed if she would risk direct action against the city. Come, let us do as we are bid and return to Camp Dragonhead. Lord Horsefant will know where Sir Emmerich means to receive us. Probably at the intercessory, Alphino. Jeez. Like where he always does. Come on, man. Use your brain, buddy. What's up, Portia? 'Tis reassuring indeed to behold the countenance of a friend which one's homeland teeters upon the brink of disaster. Though a single misstep could send us plunging into the abyss, your heroic presence stokes the flames of courage within my heart. Ah, but you did not come to Dragonhead to listen to my prattling. The Lord Commander has arrived and would treat with you in the intercessory. Hey, look at that, Alphino. It's almost like that's where we always meet him at. Yes, please let me inside. I'm gonna stand on the fucking table. Oh, no, I'm not either. Am I? Can I? Oh, wow. I thank you for coming with such haste, and apologize for my absence. Suffice it to say, Lady Iceheart and her heretics have much to answer for. Yes, but we are recently returned from the Gates of Judgment ourselves. Given the circumstances, we quite understand if you would prefer to postpone our appointed audience. On the contrary, Master Alphino, I think it more important ever that this meeting take place. Rest assured, I shall return to my post on Ishgard's walls the moment our business is concluded. Before we move on to the subject of reinforcements, however, I would introduce you to a close friend and stalwart ally, Astinian. This dude is a badass. Of the highest order. If you're a Dragoon, you will have met him already. May I present you Ishgard's Azure Dragoon. An impressive title, though I must confess I know precious little of the Order of Dragoons. They are formidable warriors all, yet even among such masters of the lance, Estinian is without equal. He, out of all the warriors of Ishgard, was chosen to wield the power of the dragons, and may thus contend with any Dravanian. You flatter me overmuch, Lord Commander. So you are the adventurer of whom they spoke. I see now why my blood fair sang in anticipation of our meeting. Well, now that we have all been introduced, let us proceed to the matter at hand. I would share with you what we have learned of Iceheart's design, as confessed by the heretics taken captive after the assault on the gates. 'Twould seem that Lady Iceheart and the Dravanians share a common goal, the reclamation of Nidhogg's stolen eye. Nidhogg, one of the 7 great worms. His name features prominently in your nation's history, though once defeated by the hero Haldreth, the beast is said to have terrorized Korthus since Ishgard's founding. Aye, many of the scars of our walls bear from Nidhogg's relentless efforts to raise the city. The trophy Haldreth plucked from the bested worm's skull, known simply as the Eye, is a treasured relic of Ishgard, and one possessed of untold power. Should it ever be returned to Nidhogg, the dread creature would be restored to the height of his strength, and then no wall or ward could erect would be stout enough to deny him. My vengeful son hath waged war against Ishgard for 1,000 years. No mortal mind could comprehend the depths of his rancor. The eye itself is secreted deep within the vault. It is kept under heavy guard, surrounded at all times by men and women who have proven their loyalty to the Holy See. But those stout walls and sharp blades may suffice to discourage the heretics. The dragons are another matter. There are individuals within the Dravanian horde whom an entire company of knights would labor to repel, to say nothing of Nidhogg himself. Nor does age rob them of their strength. Through the endless march of years the dragons endure, patient, calculating, inexorable. You must understand, these creatures do not share our perception of time. And that is especially true of the great worms. They who spend centuries in slumber only to wake and resume their campaign as if mere hours had passed. It has been 20 years since Nidhogg last darkened our skies. 20 years for him to gather his strength and for us to bolster our defenses. And now, just as he seemed primed to return, the heretics strike at the gates. You believe that Lady Iceheart is in league with this creature, then? Of that we cannot be certain, though we know the heretics covet the eye, and we have been unable to determine their plans for it. Such questions aside, we must need address the ragged hole their mistress has seen fit to rend in Ishgard's protections. 'Tis a weakness the Dravanians are not likely to leave untested. So it would seem. You have described your plight in admirable detail, Lord Commander, yet I cannot help wonder at your candor. Why share such sensitive information with us? I shall speak plain. Ishgard has need of allies, and I would have you bolster our front lines in readiness for the coming battle against the dragons. That much I expected. Unlike our arrangement concerning the Keeper of the Lake, however, only you stand to benefit from our assistance in this matter. I fail to see why we should intervene in a conflict which concerns only Ishgard and Dravania. When the Eorzean Alliance requested Ishgard's assistance during Operation Archon, you refused us. And does it not sound grossly unjust to demand that we now risk our lives in your private war? I make no attempt to defend my country's conduct. I only ask that you consider what would follow were Ishgard to fall. Having razed our city to the ground, the Horde would have little cause to linger, and most would return to their lairs in Dravania. Soon thereafter the ruins of Korthus would be buried in snow, and the lands would become the sole province of the beasts and beastmen. Until the Garleans' arrival, that is. And you may be certain that the Empire would not hesitate to claim Korthus. They would not even have to draw steel. An imperial province sharing border with Mordona. 7 hells. Very well. We will assist you in repelling the dragons. The roar of a great worm may have shaken the firmament, but we of Eorzea will not abandon our Ishgardian brothers to face the coming horde alone. Nor did I think you ever would. Now, upon the matter of the roar. Allow me, Sir Emmerich. Through the power of the Eye, I have become the vessel of Nidhogg's strength. His essence was stolen in my very blood. Fear not. I am in full control of my faculties, I assure you, and the Eye itself is of no relevance to this tale. It is not essential that I bear it with me wherever I shall go. Its lingering influence does, however, allow me to hear Nidhogg's voice. Then the worm who roared? Was Nidhogg, aye. He means to hurl his horde against Divinian's collar, Denifin's collar, and shatter the remaining wards that protect the city. There can be no doubt the worm has summoned his minions to war. Though the circumstances are far from ideal, this desperate endeavor will at least provide an opportunity to bring the sister estates of Eorzea together in a common cause. Sir Emmerich was more ruthless in his negotiations than I had anticipated. I suppose one must give no quarter when one's home is at stake. But did you see the look on his face when he formally requested our assistance? Though the Lord Commander has long campaigned for Ishgard to open its gates to outsiders, I suspect this softening of the Holy See's attitude towards foreign cooperation comes at something of a bittersweet victory. The days ahead promise to be interesting indeed. If we are to aid Ishgard in the war of theirs, preparations will have to be made, and soon. Before proceeding, however, we must needs return to the Rising Stones and make our report to the antecedent. Or, we could use the link shell that we have. Could have done that.
Alphino, it is good to see you. Tell me, what have you learned?
Pray summon the others. Everyone must hear my report.
So this was all but a taste of what's to come.
Indeed. The main host advances upon Ishgard as we speak.
Whose vaunted defenses have been nullified.
Shorn of its wards, the city will bear the full force of Nidhogg's fury.
All those people.
Alphino is right. The Dravanians cannot be allowed to prevail. If Ishgard falls, all of Eorzea will suffer the consequences.
Then you agree that we have no choice but to intervene. For the good of the realm, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn and the Crystal Braves must join the defense of Ishgard.
Let there be no ambiguity about what has been proposed. We would be directly intervening in the war. But if all here believe the cause to be just, then to war we shall go. The path we now embark upon is perilous, but I pray you will walk with us to the end. For those we have lost, for those we can yet save.
Then it is settled. I shall inform the Council of our intentions and request that they contribute their own forces to the defense of Ishgard.
I have bid the Archons travel to their assigned nations. Should the members of the Allegiance agree to pledge Grand Company soldiers to Ishgard's cause, our comrades will be on hand to act as intermediaries for the duration of the conflict. The small matter of persuading the Alliance leaders to grant such support I leave to Alphino. For you, my friend, a different task awaits. I would have you reach out to your fellow adventurers and gather what allies you may for the coming siege. I would also have you consider the matter of your own security. Revenant Stoll is but a short flight from the snowfields of Korthus. It is not unimaginable that the fighting may spill across the border. Pray brief Slaffborn on the brewing conflict and discuss potential contingencies. The frontier settlers must be prepared for aught that might wing its way over the walls. I only hope that such precautions prove unnecessary. Before you leave, might I suggest that you have Tataru accompany you? She has a talent for administration and a firm grasp on the practical challenges we may encounter. We are rather close to Korthus, aren't we? We best see to our own defenses and take stock of our supplies. Oh, and we'll also need to have beds and bandages laid out just in case. A good receptionist is ready for any eventuality. Let's go, monkey. I have 101 things to discuss with Slaffborn. I appreciate the warning. If war is coming to Korthus, then the toll must be made ready. I'll increase the number of patrols and lookouts immediately. I also see about finding a room for an infirmary, as well as temporary housing for victims of the conflict. Ishgard has done well by us in the past, and I would return the favor. As for rounding up volunteers for the fighting itself, I'm afraid I must disappoint you. I will not send my fellow guild members to die on Ishgard's soil, and I'm certain headquarters will say the same. There will be no official Adventurers Guild presence at this siege. That said, each adventurer is course, free to do as he or she will. I shall have a word with some of my more capable colleagues on your behalf, and you might try your luck here in Revenant's Toll. I dare say there are a few stout souls about town who will answer your call to arms. Let's get started, shall we? We have a town to rouse. Okay. I do not remember this quest being in here at all. I'm wondering if this is because they changed the 8-man trial that's coming up into a solo instance that I have not seen yet. Spare me your talk of glory and fame. I'm not in the habit of volunteering for lost causes. I've survived this long by trusting my instincts, and my instincts tell me to stay well away from Ishgard. Yeah, makes sense. What's up, Rio? Ishgard sounds like a right mess. But that ain't what I want to talk about. I need you to cast your mind back to the scuffle with the Empire about the processing plant. A lad from Little Alamigo by the name of Wilfred was there in the 4th of that day, and I want to know if you've seen him since. Have you? Gorgeous, damn it, I feared as much. No one's bloody seen him. It's like the ground opened up and swallowed him whole. But that ain't all. Around the time Wilfred stopped turning up for duty, them black market weapons went missing from our vault in Ulda. So now, of course, half the Braves suspect the lad of making off with the goods. Folk like to believe our company is a disciplined fighting force, but as you and me both know, it's more of a motley collection of mercenaries, adventurers, and Grand Company veterans. The only things that bind us together is some vague oath about fighting for the freedom of all, and that in steady pay. Now, compared to most others in this crew, Wilfred's a fresh-faced novice, a bleeding whelp amongst wolves. But the boy's got passion. When he talked about being a guardian of Eorzea, he bloody well meant it. A lad like him wouldn't rob us blind and bugger off like that. He ain't the type. And then, and this is just between you and me, mind, there's the fact that the lad wanted to tell me about something queer he'd noticed in the ledges. Something about the Braves' numbers not adding up. And there's a villain at the end of this trail I've stumbled on, and I'll bet me a good eye it ain't young Wilfred. Any road, you got a war to wage, so I'll let you get on. I just thought someone should know. I'll be seeing you, monkey. So Ishgard sells swords to bolster its ranks, eh? Though I'm not sure I like the sound of the siege. Those nobles will surely be generous with their rewards. But I have pledged myself to guard Revenant's Toll. Modest work though it is, I'm loath to break the terms of my contract. What to do, what to do. Volunteer my services in the defense of Ishgard? I think not. Dragons claim the lives of every one of my brothers. I do not mean to offer them mine. 'Twas to escape such a fate that I took up the mantle of adventure in the first place. I would sooner die in the pursuit of fortune than huddled behind an icy wall. I mean, that's fair. Sell me blade to the Ishgardians. Well, them dragons are a fearsome lot, but I'd slay me fair share if the coin was good. I've worked for them knights before, you know. Watch me like a bloody hawk he did. Still, I put up with worse than that for a heavy purse. There you are, monkey. So, did you sway any hearts? I mean, I think maybe one. One or two, eh? Well, added to mine, that makes 3 or 4. Not including Slathborn's friends. We won't have the largest company in the army, but I'd say one Revenant Stole veteran is worth a dozen clanking knights at least. Oh, I've been so caught up with recruiting I almost forgot. There's been word from Alphanode. Apparently, the Alliance leaders are convening in Ul'dah to discuss Ishgard's plight, and they've requested your presence, as usual. Anyway, you better make your way to Ul'dah, or you'll be late. Alphanode said that he would meet you at the Royal Promenade. My apologies for calling you away from your task. I had hoped to proceed with these negotiations one leader at a time, but it seems my urgent requests for an audience have prompted a gathering of the council. Needless to say, I felt obliged to attend. The Alliance leaders are already seated within. Let us join them, shall we?
We are well aware of Ishgard's dilemma, and we agree with your assessment.
Then I trust there are no objections to the Crystal Braves' intervention.
Ul'dah has none.
Gridania does not object.
The Crystal Braves are yours to command, Alphino. Do what you will. We shall pray for your success.
It was my hope that you would offer more substantial aid than prayer. I know it is within your means.
Do not presume that you have knowledge of our every concern. The Garleans and the Beast Tribes are but 2 of many. We are not in a position to contribute greatly to the defense of Ishgard. Not when our own homes are still under siege.
We dare not leave our interests in Cartano undefended as well. Telegi Adalegi and his ilk would seize control of the territories in our absence.
The enemy is at their gates, and you would cower behind yours?
No one is cowering, boy. We will offer what support we can.
Aye, support. A handful of men and no more.
Would that we could commit more than a token force to this cause. Yet there are others to whom you might turn. The free companies ever want for work.
Ah, yes. The free companies. They're not like to turn you down.
I beg your pardon? You would entrust the survival of Ishgard to sell swords? Crises like these are the very reason why this alliance was formed. It is our duty to aid our fellow man.
My duty is to my country and my people. If you expect us to place the welfare of a foreign power above our own, you're going to be sorely disappointed. Lest you doubt, Limsa comes first, then the Alliance, and finally, circumstances permitting, Ishgard and the rest. If you cannot understand so simple a concept, then you have no place at this table.
Forgive me, Admiral. I was careless in my choice of words.
I suggest you assemble a party of elite adventurers, assuming you haven't already. Your fellows served us well during Operation Archon. I dare say they will do so again. If I may, Your Grace, I wish to propose a redistribution of forces. If we entrust the security of Uldar to the Brass Blades for a time, we can dispatch a larger force to Ishgard. Your Grace?
Yes. Yes, of course. Do what you will.
Is Her Grace not feeling well?
To the best of my knowledge, Her Grace is in perfect health.
I see. Carry on.
Once again, I owe you an apology. It seems you have been conscripted into leading a contingent of adventurers on yet another mission of inestimable danger. But I fear we have been left with little alternative. We cannot well abandon Lord Horschiffant and Sir Amric to their fate. We must abide by the Council's decision, as short-sighted as it is, and strive to fulfill our role as Eorzea's guardians. Captain Ilberd, what news? Then the assault has begun. We have at this moment concluded our audience with the Alliance leaders. Move our forces into position. Your unit will join House Durandor at Steel Vigil. Man the cannons alongside the knights, and thin the Devranian horde ere they descend upon Ishgard. I will join you as soon as I'm able. Monkey, I would have you and your adventurer allies bolster the defenses at the Steps of Faith. Report first to Sir Marceline at the Gates of Judgment. He will direct you to where you are needed most. May the gods grant us victory. So this was an 8-man trial. I was told it is now a solo instance. So I guess it's going to be me and a bunch of NPCs, maybe? Although the cutscenes and stuff are still saying my adventuring friends, so maybe it is still a trial. I don't know. Maybe they just revamped the trial? But I thought they said they changed it to an instance, kind of like they did the Ratatan, which also used to be an 8-man trial, and now it is an instance. So let's see what happens. I don't know. Well, it doesn't have the yellow thing around him. You are the appointed captain of the Sellsword contingent. Then welcome. There's no shortage of blade work to be done. As we speak, Dravanian skirmishing parties are harrying positions across the Central Highlands. I've assigned Crystal Braves and your fellow adventurers to contain these scattered attacks, and for the present, I would have you join them. This is, of course, merely a precursor to the assault on Ishgard proper. The wily serpents seek to divide and confuse our forces, but we will not be so easily drawn out of position. The Temple Knights will remain on the Steps of Faith and continue our preparations. When the Horde arrives in force, they shall face a wall of Ishgardian steel. Report back to me once their advanced skirmishers are slain. Okay, so this is different. Defeat the forces at Whitebrim. Okay. What news, adventurer? The reinforcements. Decimated, you say? Dravanian devils. Damn their scaly hides. Hold fast to your grief and fury, sir. We will avenge their deaths of your fellows in the battle to come. Alright, here's the steps of faith. Ere you commit yourself to the siege, you should know what you're tasked with defending. Beyond the gates of judgment lies the steps of faith, a great bridge of stone that leads directly to the city of Ishgard. More than simply a means to cross the sea of clouds, the bridge serves as a foundation of the arcane wards that form the barrier we call Danafin's Collar. Alas, is in dispelling the barrier's outermost layer, that thrice damned witch Iceheart stripped the bridge of its protection, and thus the dragon's now able to land unhindered upon the steps of faith. Should the Dravanians succeed in destroying the remainder of the wards, the winged devils will be free to swarm within the city itself. Needless to say, we cannot suffer that to happen. It shall be our task as defenders to prevent any harm from coming to those parts of the bridge wherein the wards are sealed. 3 yet remain, and we have dispatched our forces accordingly. I would ask that you and your comrades to accompany our defenders at the outermost ward. I should hope that includes us as well, yes? Oh, this definitely is different. They were not with me before. The Scions of the Seventh Dawn. We could not well stand idly by while the Horde threatens the good people of Ishgard. Indeed, to do otherwise would go against all that Master Louisbois has taught us. And, for where we may be of most assistance, I think prudent we divide into 2 groups. Ida and I will join the rear guard. Right. If the dragon should reach us, we'll be sure to give him a what for. Thank you all. All of you. Pray speak with me again when your preparations are complete, and together we shall stand against the Horde. Okay, so, yeah, I do think it's not going to be a trial anymore. So instead of an 8-man trial, yes, it's going to be a solo instance with me and the Scions. So that's pretty cool. Alright. I can dig that. Do I have any food? What do I got here? I got some bacon bread. That's not really for my job. Screw it. We eat it anyway. We want that vitality boost. Alright, let's go. I trust you're ready then. Come, let us make for the battlefield. Let's go. Oh, they're going to nerf my gear too. 110. Eesh, yuck. Yeah, there's the big boy. There's Vishap. So before, there'd be 8 of us, and there'd be dragons coming out, and you'd have to tank them and shoot Vishap with like a big thing, and I don't know, maybe you'll still have to do that kind of stuff. I don't know what's, I don't know. I don't know what we're doing here. This is completely different. Looks like the knights on the side are fighting the small dragons. So if you're in the heart, defend the bridge of your life. Okay, yeah, we got it. Looks like the things are still there. Oh, do we only kill these type dragons now?
Let's finish this quickly, shall we?
I shall make it quick.
Ah, okay.
Answer to me.
Oh, now we can actually fight him. Cool. See, before you were fighting him while he was walking, you couldn't get under his feet. It's crazy. And then you had to kill him before he broke all the different things, which he's trying to break through now. You had to go up the thing and shoot him, which you still might have to do. Okay, you can't go up there, so it looks like we're not shooting him anymore. Alright, cool.
No holding back. This one'll sting.
Dude, this is epic as shit. This is way better than the fucking thing that it used to be. That was pretty cool, man. I'm not gonna lie. That was way cooler than it used to be. The dragons! They're withdrawing! Victory is ours! One of Nidhogg's greatest champions slain. The Horde will not soon recover from this blow. But what of you, Nidhogg? Why did you not join your minions and make of this battle a slaughter? Have you grown so fond of the stench of your lair? Mayhap you prefer to have your allies fight your battles for you. You have a girl to do your bidding now, do you not? No matter. I shall slay Iceheart and all the rest. But I yearn to spill the blood of a great worm, Nidhogg, and only your death will sate my lance. Monkey, the dragons are routed. Lest you wonder, the fighting at the Steel Vigil was also fierce, but my crystal braves were not found wanting. Commander Levior, Monkey, to your word you arrived to aid us in our hour of need. On behalf of the Holy See and the people of Ishgard, I offer you my humble thanks. Though I would stay and lavish you with well-deserved praise, I fear I must away to oversee the aftermath of the siege. Not all the dragons are fled, and there are yet wounded to be carried from the field. Pray let us meet anon, that I might express my thanks with a proper courtesy. We have indeed achieved a victory of singular importance. With the Dravanian horde thus weakened and scattered, the threat to Ishgard has been greatly diminished. And mayhap equally significant, the Holy See must now recognize the necessity of cooperation with foreign powers. Long have they barred their gates against the outside world, but I am confident that the day will soon come when Ishgard proclaims itself a member of the Eorzean Alliance once more. Much have we sacrificed in our struggles against the dragons and primals, the Ascians and the Empire, but step by unfaltering step we march ever nearer our goal. And as ever, the journey is made with you in the van. The victory you have won this day gives us greater hope for the morrow. 'Tis a hope that shall sustain us in the days to come, and bear us past the many evils that yet seek to hinder our progress. Yes, we have done well, my friend, and I, for one, would take a moment to savor the enormity of our achievement. The demands of duty, however, allow me little time for levity. I must accompany Captain Ilberd back to Ul'dah and reassign those braves whose squads suffered heavy losses. You, my friend, have earned a rest at the Rising Stones. Pray return to Revenant Stoll and share your tale with Minfilia in person. We will see to the informing the other nations of what took place here. Do be sure to give regards to Minfilia. Monkey, welcome back. Alphanode sent word of the siege, and of course the role you played in ending it. Your deeds never cease to amaze me, Monkey. Thank you. You must be weary, Monkey, and now may very well be your only chance to... Antecedent! A messenger from Ul'dah has arrived with a missive for you. The royal seal. Curious indeed. Ah, an invitation. On behalf of the Council of the Eorzean Alliance, Her Majesty Nanamo Ul Namo invites the Scions of the Seventh Dawn to attend a feast at the Royal Palace of Ul'dah in honor of Ishgard's recent victory. It would seem we are to be recognized for our part in lifting the siege. You for your valiant efforts as commander of the adventurers contingent, and the Archons for their earnest attempts to rouse the city-states. Truly, I find it strange that the Alliance leaders should think themselves deserving of a place at such a celebration. All three refused to deploy their standing armies, preferring to send hastily assembled companies of sellswords, many of whom perished ere the siege began. And they truly so brazen as to seek the share of glory in your triumph? Ah, but mayhap they simply seek a pretext to meet with the Ishgardians while the mood is yet jubilant. Such an occasion would present a fine opportunity to press for Ishgard's return to the Eorzean Alliance. We had scarce had time to mourn Moonbrita, and I, for one, am in no mood to carouse. But I suppose we must put away our grief for the good of the realm. Though we were promised rest, I fear I must insist that you also attend. It would be strange celebration indeed if the victorious hero were not present. Pray content yourself with the thought that such occasions may bring about momentous change, and without recourse to bloodshed. Tadru, if you would do me a favor of contacting the rest of the Scions. Of course, Antecedent. And please, let me know if there's anything else I can do. Curious. I have never known Tadru to sigh at such requests. Could aught be amiss? Tataru's conspicuous by her absence. Tataru? I believe she just stepped outside. Now that I think on it, she did seem rather preoccupied. Oh, Monkey, it's you. I didn't mean to worry anyone. It's nothing, really. Well, it's not nothing exactly, but it feels like nothing compared to the towering trials you and the others face every day. And that's why I should probably talk to Menphilia before things get any worse. As you always know what to say, Monkey. I'm glad we had this little chat. That... Okay. Yes, Satru, you have my undivided attention. Well, I've been hesitant to broach the subject, what with all the recent excitement, but Monkey made me realize there's no time like the present, and time is what I'm here to ask you for. I'm not sure I understand. If you wish to be excused from your duties for a time, you have certainly earned the rest, but I suspect that lying abed is far from your intent. You know me too well, antecedent. There is, in fact, something I've been wanting to try my hand at. Along with the adventures in the Crystal Braves, the Scions are constantly being thrown into dangerous battles and deadly predicaments. Even Hoary Boulder and Coltonay have been promoted from guard duty to fill our needs for competent warriors. And so it seems only right that I, too, should acquire the powers to defend myself, and others, more importantly. When I return, I shall be both your receptionist and your bodyguard. Whoa, hey! That's the first time I've almost been knocked to the ground by a Lalafell. I've never seen Miss Tataru so determined. Has aught befell which I might help, antecedent? Ah, not at present, thank you. Was there something you would ask of me? Ah, yes. Pray excuse my distraction. An adventurer who was to join us for escort duty was injured while out on patrol, and I fear we cannot properly defend the scholars entrusted to our protection without the aid of at least one more guard. Therefore, I humbly request that another adventurer, of the capable kind, of course, be assigned to our party. Very well, I shall consider the potential candidates and provide you with a replacement as soon as I'm able. My thanks, antecedent. I take my leave of you. The power to defend oneself. Tataru has ever been full of surprises. Now that I think of it, I do recall Urianger mentioning that she had developed interest in Arcanima. Maybe she hopes to admittance to the Arcanist Guild in Limsa Lominsa. Yes, that will be the way of it. Would you be so kind as to journey to the guild and see that all is well? It is doubtless unwarranted, but surely I am not alone in my concern for her safety. That's one quest, and also we are where we needed. I wonder, do you perchance recall the commitment I made to furnish Hoary Boulder with a capable adventurer? Well, I'm sorry to say I have yet to be able to do so. Now, I realize you are rather more than a capable adventurer, and escort duty is frankly beneath a man of your talents, but I have no one else to turn to at present. Might you be willing to forgo rest and assist us in this matter? Sure. Generous to a fault. I thank you, Monkey. Now, it seems only fair that I explain the import of the task in question. For some time, our order has employed a handful of scholars to travel around Eorzea taking etheric readings, that we might better understand the impact of primal summonings. Naturally, it behooves us to ensure our employer's safety, so that we ask the adventurers in our service to serve as escorts. Hoary Boulder and Coltonay were to act as 2 such escorts, as was the 3rd adventure. Alas, due to injury, said adventure is not presently fit for duty, hence my need to impose upon your goodwill. You truly are a pillar of strength, Monkey. Hoary Boulder will share with you the details of your task. He should be waiting for you outside. Be safe. Alright, let's do the Arcanist Guild first. Monkey, what are you doing here? I didn't mean for her to worry. That's the last thing I wanted. Putting an end to such worries is precisely the reason I'm here, don't you see? I, Tataru, shall become a great and powerful Arcanist. And now, at Mistress Thumgrimmin's behest, I must go and complete a special training exercise. Until we meet again. Thubbergame. These names. Greetings and welcome to the Arcanist Guild. Do you require assistance? So you are acquainted with our newest member. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but I fear young Tataru may not be ideally suited for the study of Arcanima. Nevertheless, she would not be denied, and goes now to undertake her first trial, a simulated inspection of 3 crates. A simple task, some might say, but one all Arcanists are expected to complete. A thought occurs to me. Why not supervise Tataru's training? You are clearly an accomplished adventurer, and given your relationship with the girl, you seem an ideal person to have on hand. Her trial will be conducted on the cliffs of the Zephyr Gate. You need only observe at a distance. Or Azure sees the pirate's port, where she met her shining jewel. For to bring the smuggler's plans to naught came the lass whom none could fool. Beat 'em with a backdraft, gut 'em with a gust, deck 'em with a downburst. Go, Carbuncle, go! Oh, are those crates I spy? Ah, and this must be the true test. Well, we're ready for them, aren't we, Carbuncle? Carbuncle? Ah, come back, Carbuncle, come back! I should have known you'd come, monkey. You needn't say a word. Your face says it all. I know you bore witness to my shame. Betrayed by my own carbuncle and left at the mercy of wild beasts. I must accept the truth. I'll never be a warrior like you and the others. I will inform Mrs. Thubragame that my intention to withdraw from the guild. Arcanima is so much else is beyond me. Ah, back so soon. How fared our fledgling arcanist? Abysmally, Mistress Thubragame. Abysmally, as Monkey will testify. I was wrong to become an arcanist. Wrong as usual, and completely and utterly unqualified, and I sincerely apologize for wasting your time. Tataru. If that were true, I would not have permitted you to join in the first place. We must all come to accept our limitations, lest our ambitions lead us astray. However, we must not lose sight of our strength in the process. For example, your exceptional skills with numbers helped you gain a solid grasp of the fundamentals of Arcanima. Were it not so, you would have struggled even to summon Carbuncle to your side. In my opinion, the Scions are truly fortunate to have such a capable and good-natured receptionist in their service. Would you not agree? You are too kind, Mr. Thubragame. Though I could not overcome this challenge, I shall take your words to heart and try not to be discouraged. As fetching as these garments are, I shall never don them again. But I can't go back to the Rising Stones without something to show for my time away. Wait, I know what I can do. That's it. If you don't mind me accompanying me for a little longer. Wonderful. Time to Costa del Sol we go. It's a bit of a gamble, but I'm confident it'll pay off. You're gonna be a belly dancer? Oh, dang. You are? Yes, this is it. This is where the man at the Drowning Wench told me to look. There's a certain variety of clam which can only be harvested this time of year in Bloodshore, one which produces the most marvelous pearls. However, these clams are also coveted by certain wild creatures, and since I'm rather poorly in battle last time, let us be off. What fortune! I've already found one! Would be so kind as to keep watch while I work? This should only take a moment. Well fought, monkey, well fought. I knew I was right to ask you to come. As for me, I have my prize, a bounty of blood pearls, so named for their reddish hue. They were treasured as wards against dark magics in ancient times. I thought I would make charms for everyone, so that no matter where they go, they will always come home. It's sort of the power to defend myself and other people in a way, right? Well, I mustn't keep Flamine waiting. There's work to be done, and lots of it. We're to secure provisions for the Scions in the Leminsa markets. She may have an eye for quality, but I have a nose for bargains. We'll be heading back to the Rising Stones? If so, pray convey my apologies to the antecedent, and tell her that she needn't worry about me. Farewell, monkey, and thank you for everything. That sounded rather final, didn't it? How about, until we meet again? What was that smile? It's a little creepy. Welcome home, monkey. I gather you found Tataru and Leminsa. Yep, here's the tale. My, it sounds as though she had quite an adventure, and while it did not end as she hoped, I suspect that it will prove to be a valuable experience. I dare say she could have managed without your intervention. I dare say she could have managed without our intervention. Even so, I appreciate you indulging my request. I don't think she could have. Actually, I don't think you were listening. Alright, for the real quest now. Ah, monkey, is it true that you agreed to lend us a hand? Huzzah! What did I tell you, Coltonay? Our misfortune has become a blessing, an opportunity to serve along the warrior light himself. Need I remind you that we have 3 scholars to escort, each of whom will take a different route? True, true, but our mission is the same. Separated by malms, but may be, but in spirit we shall be together. As such thoughts bring you joy, you are welcome to think them. To more practical concerns, monkey, we would have you attend to the scholar charged with surveying the South Shroud. He is waiting at Camp Tranquil as we speak. All you need to do is follow the man. He will determine the most appropriate locations to take his readings. In spirit, monkey, in spirit we shall be together every step of the way. Okay. Hood up. Let's go. At last, the Scions man deigns to grace me with his presence. A pity that we have no time for pleasantries. Our first destination is Isamhar. Come, we are late enough as it is. I could just let you die. Yes, this location should suffice. Once I finish calibrating my instrument, I will require but a moment to take the necessary measurements. I trust I need not explain that my work can suffer no interruptions. Then please, stand at an appropriate distance and keep watch for wild beasts. I see we've both completed our respective tasks. A satisfactory outcome. Though, if I can make one suggestion, you might try to dispatch your foes more quietly in the future. I do not like to pick fault, but I really must be allowed to concentrate. Now then, Snake Molt awaits us, shall we? I think they stuck us with the South Shroud guy because he's a dick. I'm gonna talk to Hoary Boulder about why he gave me the fucking prissy asshole. Right about here. Yes, as before, I would ask you keep an eye out for dangerous beasts as I work. Sure. Fascinating. These readings are not at all what I expected. Though, perhaps that should come as no surprise. I'm not given to superstition, but there is a queer, almost blasphemous air hereabouts. Let us quit this place and return to Roots Lake. We have one more site to survey. As before, my guardian, pray leave me to my task and ensure our safety. The data should prove invaluable. Ye gods, what is that stench? Did you slaughter a creep of adamantoises while my back was turned? Quickly now, to Camp Tranquil. I will not have my clothing reeking of blood and offal. You chose to paddle in the Ichor a while longer, I take it. No matter. I took advantage of my unexpected privacy and performed a cursory analysis of my data. It would appear that there has been a measurable decrease in Eorze's ambient aether concentration since the calamity. However, this data is far from conclusive. We must take additional measurements to confirm my assessment. I hate you. For our next survey, I would have you escort me to Earth's fount. The ambient ether concentrations there are so high that crystalline structures formed spontaneously. Consequently, anomalous fluctuations should be much easier to detect. Brilliant, yes? No, don't bother answering. That was rhetorical. Now come along. You should be more familiar with the procedure by now. Pray find a suitable position from which to keep watch while I take measurements. Yes, yes, quite high. It's still markedly lower than historical measurements taken near the end of the 6th Astral Era. Could the presence of a primal account for the difference? Or is there something else? Something else? Something else. Scion, Scion, come here. I need you. Oh, it's Wilrid. Fear not, my friends. Help has arrived. There you are, monkey. Hori and I were worried when you and your charge failed to return at the appointed hour. Huh? Gutted like a hog. And not by one, no. These wounds were made with a blade. Doesn't look like he put up much of a fight either. Nay, a mark on his sword or his shield. I've heard nothing of any Crystal Brave operations in this area. What calls had Wilrid to come out here? What should we do? We will see to the scholar's protection, monkey. Aye, and the boy's remains. You should return to the Rising Stones. The antecedent will want to know what happened here. And so do I. I'll be pissing off Ori Boulder. Monkey, you are returned, and you seem troubled. Did the role of escort chafe so? Wilrid, dead? Mayhap murdered? By the 12, how can that be? I will send word to Alphino at once. You want to conduct a full investigation and send word to Willard's family. Gods, he was just a boy. Who would do this, and why? Well. Though recent events weigh heavily on our minds, we must needs set them aside for now. We have come to a defining moment in Eorzean history. The grand commemoration of our joint defense of Ishgard, the first time in 15 long years that our people have stood side by side with our neighbors to the north to fight in common cause. This may mark the true rebirth of the Eorzean Alliance. Failing that, it should be the very least serve to bring our nations closer together. We have every reason to raise our voices in celebration, do we not? We have bested Dravanians and Asians both. Against desperate odds we have fought and won. But the primals still plague us, and the Empire still plots our subjugation, and our triumphs. Remarkable though they are, were bought at a terrible price. Brave adventurers and allies broken on the steps of faith, and before our eyes in this very room our dear friend Moonbrita. This is a victory we have wrought, and it is bitter ashes in my mouth. I would soon stay here and invite those with more appetite to enjoy the feast in my stead. Alas, it is a royal banquet, and all our allies will be in attendance. It is our duty to represent as a united front, that we may serve as a beacon of hope to all. It seems I have no choice but to take my own advice. I've instructed the others to meet us in Ul'dah, that we might make our grand entrance together. Unfortunately, I had to settle for leaving Tataru and Lamine a note. If they do not return quickly, they will have to settle for whatever leftovers I can smuggle out of the fragrant chamber. Off to the big soiree, monkey. Raise a glass for me, eh? Or not. You don't look best pleased, lad. Something on your mind? By the Navigator, Willard's dead. Gods damn it. They must have known they've been rumbled. Sort it. 'Tis past time we had this talk. After our last conversation, I got to thinking about where the certain funds are coming from. So I had to dig around. On the quiet like, and sure enough I found it. Seems a fair bit of coins made its way into the Braves' coffers courtesy of Dodo Consortium. A daft name for a business if ever I heard one. Which is what first gave me an inkling of something weren't right. I went through the ledgers again, and found another half-dozen donations for organizations with stupid bloody names. Didn't take long for me to find the common thread. All were owned by the Mirage Trust. Oh, I'd give the bastard credit. He showed us up for amateurs we are. Short of calling one of his businesses the bloody bribery consortium, I don't know what more he could have done to mock our rules of financial contributions. The gods only know how many men of the first and third are taking Telegi's coin. But now we got some of them. But now we know as some of them are. I'd wager me right eye that they'd ones that did Wilfred. The earnest young fool had taken to asking the wrong kinds of questions. Bound to attract attention he was. Should have seen it at the time, but I didn't. Gods damn me. Still, I don't see what Telegi hopes to accomplish. He hid his scheme with all the care of a drunk pissing in the wind. Nah, he's cleverer than this. So we need to be clever too. That's the only way we'll ever repay this debt of blood. We'll purge every one of them traitorous bastards from our rank. On that you have my word. Monkey. Mind yourself when you're in Uldai, eh? We're heading into a storm. I can smell it. The kind will sweep a man overboard and drag him under before he knows it. Alright, well, before we go see good old Minfilia. Gotta look fancy for the party. We've been waiting for you, Monkey. The celebration is due to begin shortly. I had hoped that we might make our introductions together, but Mistress Momodi has sent word that you are needed at the quicksand. Of course I am. We will go on ahead, Monkey. Pray join us once matters at the quicksand are resolved. Give my regards to Momodi, and let her know that we will call upon her anon. Or that I will call upon her anon. I appreciate you dropping in on such short notice, Monkey. I know you've got places to be, so I won't waste your time. You friends with the Crystal Blaze by the name of Alianne, aren't you? Former adventurer. Come to think of it, I'm pretty sure you recruited her yourself. Well, anyway, she came round for a meal not long ago, and before she left, she asked me to give you a message. Said, if the others ended up dragging you to a feast, I was to see you got it before you made your grand entrance. Meet me at the station west of the Coffer and Coffin. There's something I must show you. A short message, I grant you, but she thought long and hard before picking those words. Barely touched her food, too. Under the other circumstances, I'd have thought those signs of a troubled heart, but something tells me she ain't planning to confess her undying love. As you stand on the platform, your thoughts begin to wander, and all too soon the ghosts of comrades lost and enemies slain begin to file by your mind's eye in solemn procession. Clearing your head, you scan the horizon, but see no sign of Alian. Straining your ears to listen, you hear the chatter of Kikarin and the buzzing of syrphids, but no approaching footfall. Sighing, you bow your head, only to notice the vial lying at your feet. Monkey, is that you? What brings you out this way? Lieutenant Alian? Why, no, I haven't seen her about. Had she come this way, I guaranteed we would have crossed paths. I must have passed this spot a dozen times. We're to patrol the city's environments on account of the royal banquet. Captain's orders, you understand. Speaking of which, isn't it about to begin? You should be with the honored guests, enjoying your well-deserved respite. Pray return to Ul'dah, monkey. If I chance to meet Lieutenant, I will tell her you were here. Fucking Laurentis, I don't trust you.
O Sultan Tree, hallowed spirit of my line. Through my weakness, the glorious house of Ul has all but disappeared beneath the sands. For want of the strength to raise it up again, it were better that it fall. Forgive me, but I know not what else to do.
I reckon you'd head straight to the feast after meeting with Alian. What's the matter? No appetite? She wasn't there, but this was, eh? Let's see. Looks like an alchemist vial, but beyond that I can't say. Might be best if you hold on to it for safekeeping, though. Any road, no worse worrying about Eliane. I'm sure she'll turn up before too long, and when she does, we'll soon find out what this was all in aid of. Besides, you've got more important things to think about. Would you believe that? While you were away, another message arrived for you. Well, one did. One delivered by the Sultana's handmaiden, no less. Seems Her Grace desires a private audience. Her handmaiden will meet you on the royal promenade and escort you to the Sultana's chambers. So what are you waiting for? Go on, then. Go.
You needn't trouble yourself so. Your Grace is most kind, but it is no trouble to me, rather an honor. If your Grace is ready, I shall summon the Warrior of Light. I am.
Everyone looks to be in high spirits.
With good cause.
A common victory may serve to unite even the most unlikely of allies. You've brought us one step closer to a united Eorzea.
Your modesty knows no bounds, Antecedent. Were it not for your efforts, Sir Emmerich would never have become such a steadfast ally. When he convinces his countrymen to rejoin the Alliance, we shall all reap the benefits, military and economic. I tell you, we are on the cusp of a new era of unity and prosperity. Territorial disputes are all that divide us now. But I have faith that we will find an amicable solution in time. And failing that, I'll have my trusty Warrior of Light box the ears of all concerned. Speaking of whom...
He will be joining us shortly. A matter at the quicksand required his attention, but it did not sound serious.
Alright, guys. We are here. We're dressed up for our party. We fancy. Let us put to an end a realm reborn. Thank you for coming, sir. Her Grace is most eager to speak with you. If you require a moment to compose yourself before your audience, you may have it. Or if you are ready, it would be my honor to escort you to her chambers forthwith. Upon proceeding to the Sultana's bedchambers, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these cutscenes in their entirety. Yes, there will be a lot of cutscenes now. I know it's been long. Here we go. Enjoy.
enter. Your Grace, your guest has arrived. Pray, come in, and take your ease.
Tis well that the steps of faith held against the Horde.
And what of the city proper?
We sustained some few losses, but the heart of our nation yet beats with vigor. I am not certain I could say the same had we not received your most generous aid.
An attack on Ishgard is an attack on the realm. We stand together or fall divided.
Such noble words after the fact.
I had hoped to speak in the presence of her grace, but it seems she has been delayed. That being the case, now would seem as good a time as any. Honored friends, pray allow me to convey Ishgard's warmest gratitude for your part in the defense of our lands. Tis upon the success of this very alliance that my recommendation to throw open the gates of judgment shall be founded. With the blessing of the Archbishop, it is my hope that Ishgard will soon be reunited with her long-estranged sister nations, and that Eorzea shall once more be as one.
Very well.
Is Artemis?
Nothing to worry about. I shall return anon. You wished a word, Yu Hase?
You may go. Your Grace. You must be curious as to the reason for this private audience. The matter I would discuss, however, will soon make apparent the need for discretion. I intend to abdicate the throne and dissolve the monarchy. You have seen for yourself the storm of turmoil that howls through our streets. The government fails in its responsibilities, and my subjects suffer the consequences of our incompetence. But I will see them suffer no longer. The victory feast shall provide the stage on which I declare the dissolution of the Sultanate. 'Tis mine intent that the ruling class of our golden city should take its place beside the common man in a fair and equitable republic. No more shall this nation bow to the whims of a privileged few. Yet, that which I propose will entail the tearing up of this city's very foundations. And even Roban, with all his strength and influence, will be hard-pressed to keep his footing on such treacherous ground. Thus would I ask you to lend him a steadying hand. You who have endured the wrath of innumerable foes are the one hero in whom I can place my trust. Will you do this thing for me? I am truly grateful. More grateful than I can well express. Much of my dread for the coming days has been quieted.
Your Grace! Her Grace, the Sultana, is dead. Poison in her wine? You did this!
Spare us your denials! I see no other suspects, and the room has but the one entrance. I hereby accuse you of regicide. Men, arrest this viper.
Sir, barring a few exceptions, we have detained all those with allegiance to the Scions. The Rising Stones is also under our control.
And what do you hope to achieve with this mutiny?
Why, that which we have striven for all along, Commander. The salvation of Eorzea.
What is the meaning of this?
Knights from the homeland. This cannot bode well.
Lord Commander, we have received an urgent message from the Holy See. I am grieved to report that your serpentine foes have resumed their assault. Needless to say, your presence is urgently required. These knights have come to bear you swiftly home to Ishgard.
A surprise attack?
We've had no such word from our men, and the timing is most fortuitous to catch us away from the city.
Most fortuitous indeed.
Lord Commander, we must away!
You have been a most gracious host. I hope that I might one day return the favor. Come, Lucia.
Whatever is going on in there? Ah, the ever-dutiful brass blades. I must apologize, but my dance card is rather full. Another time, perhaps?
Thancred, of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. You stand accused of committing acts of espionage in service to the Garlean Empire.
Espionage? What in the seven hells are you talking about? Ah, if you're referring to that business with the Ultima weapon, then you must understand, I wasn't myself.
Under interrogation, an Imperial prisoner revealed your involvement in numerous dealings with the enemy. We've also been investigating reports that you are a practitioner of forbidden arts. You'd best come along with us.
You invite me to your party and now you want me to leave? I do so detest receiving mixed signals. Come then. I believe I've lost my appetite for this farce of a celebration.
You go too far, Lord Adeleji. By what right do you march armed soldiers into a royal banquet and eject state visitors without Her Grace's consent? You treat the brass blades as your personal army and show contempt for the throne with your every act. Leave us, now.
Is that an order, General? Mayhap you have mistaken me for one of your flames. You will find I am not so slavishly obedient. As you lecture me on personal armies. As for your outrageous claim that I have shown contempt for the throne, let all here observe that it was not I who feasted while an assassin removed its occupant. I expect this is your idea of defending the nation, is it? This and diluting our forces through these distractions in Cartano and Kurthus. I do begin to see how the ranks of the Immortal Flames came to be riddled with Garlean sympathizers. You are plainly unfit for command.
Wait. Wait, goddamn you. Your words make no sense. What assassin?
You mean to say you don't know?
We caught the vaunted champion of the Scions in her Grace's private chambers, not moments after the deed was done.
No! No, this cannot be!
Save your breath. You will need it to plead your case. You and your entire order are to be tried for this atrocity. Bring in the prisoner!
This man stands accused of poisoning Her Royal Majesty Nanamo Ul Namo, and his suspected accessories to the crime. All members of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn will be detained for questioning.
This is madness!
What a pity. Who'd have thought your tale would end like this?
Should you demand further proof, a vial with traces of the substance used to poison Her Grace was found upon the assassin's person.
How very convenient.
You would speak of convenience? Who persuaded Her Grace to host this celebration? A diversion which presented you and your confederates ample opportunity to commit the crime, and a crowd within which to fade from view. A more convenient occasion I could scarcely imagine.
How dare you! After all we have done for Uldar!
Hold your tongue, witch! I'll not be ensorcelled! I know all about the dark gift that you and your disciples wield. Oh yes, I've observed how you worked upon the minds of the Alliance leaders, bending them to your will. And what of your cordial relationship with Sir Emmerich? For years, Ishgard abjured all contact with the outside world, and now the Lord Commander of the Temple Knights treats you with the familiarity of a childhood friend. I'll tell you what I think. I think this desperate defense of Ishgard was but a ruse to deceive us into dividing our forces. Your next move will be to charm your Kurthan allies into invading our lands. Now that is truly ridiculous.
How do you even think of this stuff?
She cannot be dead. Stand aside, Ilbert. I want to see the Sultana.
Spare yourself the pain, brother. I saw her with my own eyes. For a mercy, the poison took her swiftly. Her handmaiden can attest to that.
This cannot be. Nanamo. Nanamo. No!
Plainly, the Royalists can no longer be relied upon to keep our nation safe. And so it falls to the monitorists of the Syndicate to govern Uldar. But should you wish to help us, General, we would be more than happy to entrust the task of planning Her Grace's funeral to you. It seems only right that you should bury your precious Sultana, and we will be glad to be rid of that burden.
I'll bet you will. You more than any man.
Whatever do you mean?
I mean, you had her killed, you black-hearted bastard!
What rot! Though I did have sufficient motive, 'tis true. That young lady caused me no end of grief. She always was a most unwilling puppet. I dare say her grace was grateful that someone thought to cut her strings.
You would mock her, then mock her from hell!
What?
Hell yeah.
Have you lost your mind, General? It is forbidden to draw steel in the royal chambers, much less slaughter our fellow syndicate members. You're one of them! You've been in league with the Scions all along!
You're next, you scheming bastard!
Oh, Reborn!
Seven hells!
Admiral, we must leave.
Ah!
How unlike you, old friend. I did not expect to take your arm so easily.
Take the Scions into custody. They have conspired to commit regicide. And arrest this traitor as well.
Ilbert, I hope you choke on their coin.
'Tis better than the dirt I've supped on these long years. We can't all abandon Alamigo and become great war heroes as you have. You are not the man you once were, Raban. Since that girl strapped the yoke around your neck, you've become docile. She took the mad bull and cut off his balls, and a bull that cannot rot is fit for naught but slaughter. Shall I tell you who really killed your precious Sultana? It was me.
You die! I never doubted you, not for a moment. But there is more to this than I yet understand. Flee this place. Clear your names. Find out who is behind this plot. It is the only way. Now go!
Ah, there you are.
Thancred! Where have you been?
Avoiding the fumbling advances of some very persistent admirers. When I realized the celebrations had turned sour, it seemed prudent to slip away and take stock of the situation. 'Twould appear that much of the city is already under tight guard. It occurs to me that expanding the Brass Blade's authority may not have been such a wonderful idea after all.
The success of this plan was contingent upon those thugs having the run of the place. Just how long has this scheme been in motion?
The careful preparations, the maneuvering of forces. I am inclined to agree with the General's insistence that a deeper plot exists here.
So, would I be right in thinking we now have an excuse to pummel as many brass blades as we like?
Unless you plan on pummeling them all, I'm not sure that will greatly aid our cause.
The Sultana's assassination was but one part of the scheme. We too were its targets. And though we did not share Pornonimo's fate, we are yet hobbled by the charges laid at our door. Where now might we seek refuge?
Where indeed, we may safely assume that our foe is thought to have the Rising Stones watched.
Forgive me for stating the obvious, but our choice of destination will matter little if we cannot secure an escape route out of Ul'dah. Happily, I believe I can provide one. Papa Shan once told me about the passages hidden in the walls of the palace. If I recall correctly, the fireplace in Animo's chambers conceals the entrance to a tunnel. It should lead outside the city and allow us to avoid any messy confrontations.
The rest of you go on ahead. I'll handle this lot.
By yourself? I suppose I shall just have to join you.
Crystal Braves too, huh? Now this should be interesting.
Ida! Papalimo!
We will hold our pursuers here. Hurry, now! Find this tunnel of Thancred's.
Minfilia, we cannot linger.
Now look what you've done.
Ida, are you all right? There are just too many of them.
I'm fine. I could do this all day. How about you?
Nearing the end of my tether.
This is so stupid. We're the scions of the Seventh Dawn. The ones who stand between this realm and the evil that's trying to destroy it.
And if you think we'll leave the stewardship of Eorzea to the likes of your masters, then you're sorely mistaken.
Sorry I dragged you into this, Papalymo.
'Tis hardly the first time, and I'll be damned if it will be the last. Let them have it, Ida!
I was hoping you'd say that.
I never knew such a watercourse existed beneath Uldar.
The architecture is of the Sildine style, if I'm not mistaken. The ancients plainly foresaw the need for a ready means of escape.
This way!
Well, that didn't take long. It seems these tunnels were not as secret as I'd hoped.
You two, go on ahead. Thancred and I will deal with this.
What do you mean to do?
Only that which is required to ensure that the dawn's light survive to brighten the morrow.
Fear not, antecedent. You haven't seen the last of these fair features.
My friends.
Leave us!
What is the plan, milady? Shall I take the dozen on the left and you the dozen on the right? The odds are not exactly stacked in our favor.
Numbers will count for little when I bring the tunnel down upon their heads. Though I cannot say I relish the thought of being entombed with you for all eternity.
You wound me. I will have you know that many a maid would kill for the chance to spend forever at my side. Now, may I have the last dance? This is going splendidly. Now would be a good time, milady!
"'Tis done. Forgive me, Mitra.
Farewell, Minfilia.
Heidelin, she speaks to me. No. I must remain behind, but you cannot stay with me. Please, you must go on. You are the warrior of light. You are hope for the Scions and for all the realm. As long as your flame continues to burn, the light of the dawn may ever be relit. You must escape and save Eorzea from those who would plunge it into darkness. "'Tis the only way.
I am glad to see you safe, my friend. What of the others? Damn that man! Teleji played me for a fool! I thought the Crystal Brave's mine till the very moment I felt the blade at my back.
There will be ample time for soul-searching later. For now, we must put some arms between us and Ul'dah.
Well, would you look who it is? Need a ride? I doubt it'll be half as exciting as the last trip we took. Not if I have anything to say about it anyway. Let's not dawdle, eh? All aboard!
was stocking up on supplies over in Vesper Bay, you see, when your sister come up and begged a favor. Said her brother was having some trouble down in Uldar, and likely needed a helping hand getting away. Thinking them ruins would make a fine hiding place, I decided to try there first. And lo and behold, there you were. Aye, and judging by them soldiers as were pouring out of the city, I arrived not a moment too soon. Ha! Must have been fate that we happened to find you there, though, eh?
I had thought to look out for Alize, but would appear she was the one watching over me. I've made such a mess of things.
And who might you be, young sir?
Pippin Taropin, Vice Marshal of the Immortal Flames. I had been on the Alamegan front these past few moons, but an urgent communication called me back to Uldar. Scarce had my boots touched the cobbles, though, when the streets erupted with cries of assassination. I immediately went in search of answers, and came across Master Alfino here. Needless to say, I did not think his imprisonment justified. The blame plainly lies with the Monitarists. Their greed and corruption are well known to me, but for them to take advantage of the situation with such alacrity...
Was that Pippin, you said? Ain't that the name of General Aldin's lad?
Yes, I am his son. Adopted, of course. 'Twas only as we were leaving Uldar that I learned of father's fate. Once I have seen you a safe distance away, I mean to return to the city and extricate him from this madness.
Then you needn't travel no further than Blackbrush. Our fugitives have a friend waiting for them there.
I dreamed of bringing about Eorzea's salvation, but in the end... 'twas I who needed saving.
Them soldiers will keep searching for a while yet. Reckon we'll take the carriage back towards Uldar and get the lay of the land. May provide a distraction if need be. The three of you wait here. Help will be along shortly. Stay strong, friends. The real fight's to come. All right, let's go. The most unassuming folk can prove to be the greatest allies. That fellow was but a passing merchant, and he lent us aid without a moment's hesitation, or any hint of concern for his own safety. Though I can well imagine how a man could feel inspired to risk all in your presence. Father spoke often of you, Monkey, and long have I looked forward to our first meeting. Needless to say, this is not at all how I envisioned it. Master Alphino, you must not give in to despair. That would only play into our enemy's hands. So long as you and Monkey are free, we may still set things right. Forgive me, Marshal Terrapin, but Alphino, my boy! Sorry to keep you waiting. Sid, what are you doing here? Pulling you out of the fire, as usual. Your merchant friend told me everything. Truly? Then he is no merchant but an angel in peddler's clothing. But tell us, how do you intend to bear our friends to safety? I hid the Enterprise but a short distance away. All I need is a destination. We must find a place beyond the reach of both the Monitorists and the Crystal Braves. Corthus, Ishgard will not suffer the intrusion of foreign forces in their territory. That settles it. With me, everyone. Not I fear. I must remain here. I dare not abandon Ul'dah to the Monitorists and their cronies. You may be certain that they will seek to defame you, both here and in the other city-states. But know that I shall do my utmost to thwart their every effort. Frankly, I do not expect it to be much of a challenge. The small folk will not turn so easily on the Warrior of Light and his allies, no matter what the Monitors claim. Marshal Terrapin, I know not what to say. Ha! Now that Father would labor to believe. But enough talk. You must go, Master Alphino. Your airship awaits. Up, up. There's no rest for the righteous. We should make for Camp Dragonhead and speak with Lord Horsefant. Mayhap he will know what to do. I had to change out of my fancy clothes. Master Alphino told me of your tale, monkey. It warms my heart that you should return to me before all others, and I shall endeavor to deserve your trust. Alas, the situation here has grown more complicated in your absence. It would be best if I explained in full.
There has been word from the capital. Ishgard has weathered another assault, and 'tis said several wyverns broke through into the city proper. The temple knights succeeded in slaying the beasts, but the intrusion prompted orders to further strengthen the guard, and to place the city under a perpetual state of alert. How keenly we feel the loss of our wards at the gates of judgment. Yet we must not bemoan our misfortune. Sir Emmerich is safely returned from Ul'dah, and once more leads the defense of Ishgard. As for the matter of your asylum, I am afraid no progress will be made until the threat to our nation is diminished. But do not despair. You are not without allies. You are more than welcome to shelter here for as long as you wish. Pray, think of it as a new headquarters of sorts. The falling snows, or some such. All frivolity aside, any who come here in search of you will receive no aid from House Forton. For once, the Ishgardian reputation for inhospitality shall work in our favor. Agents of Uldar will find their every inquiry dismissed, and their every request for entry rebuffed, until such time as their masters have acknowledged your innocence. You once fought to preserve the honor of my dear friend. 'Tis a blessing that I may now repay that debt in kind. But let us dwell no more on this. Pray, join the rest of your companions. 'Tis bitterly cold this day. I suspect there are those who might welcome the warmth your presence brings.
Alright, several cutscenes will play. Alphino, monkey, is it really you? I'm so happy that you're here. I tried contacting Minfilia and the others, but no one would respond. And the Crystal Braves, our own people, turned on us in the marketplace. Flamine told me to run, and so I did. I ran and I ran until my lungs burned and my feet ached. But I lost my way. And then... Fortunately, I had observed some of the Braves behaving suspiciously beforehand. Lady Aguirre. No mask. Ah yes, my mask. It was lost in the struggle. So hot. Pretty, isn't she? Anyway, after Aguirre found me, we traveled to Vesper Bay and met up with Urianger. When we told him what had happened, he used his magics to weave a glamour around the waking sands. From the outside, our old headquarters now looks like an abandoned storehouse. The transformation didn't take long either. Apparently, Urianger started making preparations after the Imperial attack, just in case the Empire ever chose to pay another visit. Good thinking, huh? Sorry, where was I? Oh yes, so we waited there at the waking sands hoping others would come, but no one else did. My people were searching for the other scions even as we speak, but we have met with no success yet. I had hoped that you might be able to suggest further places to look. But you should know, the Rising Stones did not share the Waking Sands' good fortune. Only Crystal Braves await you there. Be that as may, we may yet have cause to hope, do we not? If the two of you escaped, it is not impossible that the others could have done so as well. You may have been forsaken by men and women believed true, but rest assured that people of Doma yet stand with you. We welcome this opportunity to repay our debts, and shall continue our efforts to locate the others and see the scions restored to the rightful place of honor.
"'Tis all my doing. I believed myself the only one who truly understood Eorzea's woes, and look what that arrogance has wrought. I gave commands, influenced governments with my certainty. I treated the Crystal Braves, and even the Scions themselves, as pawns in my great scheme to save the realm. But in my headlong rush into imagined glory, I paid no heed to the ground upon which I trod. The salvation of Eorzea. What was it that I hoped to achieve? Did I believe that I could rid the realm of every danger and difficulty? That I could defeat the Empire and the Ascians, and find homes for every refugee? Oh, yes. I was so very clever. Become a guardian of Eorzea, I implored, and sat back to watch my perfect army cleanse the land of chaos. 'Twas all but a means to feed my own vanity. Only when all is lost do I finally realize the truth.
Oh, Alphino.
So, Master Alphino, are you content to remain a broken blade? Is there no flame hot enough to reforge you? What of the fine companions who yet stand at your side? I dare say the fires of their determination will soon have you slicing the air again with your customary wit.
I hardly deserve such friendship. And besides, where are we to go?
Alphino, if I may? Should this place not serve our purpose, then we shall go to Ishgard. Minfilia told me many times, as long as we stand fast against despair, the beacon of hope will never be lost to sight. Be it in the snow or in the clouds, we few will see that the dawn's light shines again.
You are right, Tataru. Thank you. And thank you for your kind words, Lord Orchefort. 'Tis true that Eorzea yet has her guardians. The Scions have achieved much, and 'twould be remiss of me to discard it all in a fit of self-pity. Let us then resume our journey, together, one step at a time.
And that is it, guys. That is 2.0. That is a Realm Reborn. We have the credits here that I'll let play for just a second. We can skip to get our post-credit little cutscenes. And yeah, we did it. We completed our first part of this amazing story. And we have 4 expansions to go. Alright, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and skip the first set of cutscenes. Sorry, credits. And here we go.
All has been arranged as you desired, my lord.
The ardor was not to his to evoke. His demise was of his own making. Nevertheless, it concerns me. They have extinguished that which should rightfully be eternal. Mayhap he was not wholly mistaken. Greater haste may be warranted. We are of one mind. The northern lands, then. The earth is fertile and the seeds are well sown. By my will they shall reap salvation, unlike any the world has known. By his will. By his will. I have answered thy summons, emissary. Speak and make thine intent known. I would speak of fate, Archon. Yours, mine, the fate of this very star.
Thou thinkest sanctuary lieth beyond. Delusion, despair, death. Thou shalt find naught else here.
To preserve the dawn's light, the heroes journeyed north. Their hearts filled with hope and eyes fixed heavenward. Alrighty, we are going to now, like I said, we are going to watch the Heavenward trailer real quick. Let's see, movies and title. Heavenward demo and title. Here we go. On these little cutscenes they do in these little trailers, this is always the depiction of the hero of like this is the same NPC look they give him. So anytime you see this character, that's us. That is Monkey Hero, even though obviously we don't look like that, but there he is. And also, of course, in the storyline from the first trailer for Realm Reborn, the main character was a warrior. Back in 1.0, he was an archer, and he became a warrior. He was the Warrior of Light. And for the story purposes, Heavenward, in every expansion, there's always a job change. So, as you can see, he'll start off as the warrior here. It's the aftermath after the big battles on the bridge and everything that we saw and we fought through. And finally getting into Ishgard here. Puts down his axe. And we haven't got there yet, but we're going to finally get in and see the city. This was the expansion that first had flying. Of course, not in a Realm Reborn, but in Heavenward areas you could fly. See, our Warrior of Light has had a job change. Now rocking some Dragoon armor. There we go. We are now in Heavenward. So yeah, there it is, guys. We made it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. When we start our next one, we will be in Heavenward. I'm going to upload this incredibly long video. And hey, we'll see you in the next one.